Good morning, friends. Today we'll be talking about the evolution of elephants. We humans are considered to be the most evolved version in the living beings. But there are some traits, there are some arenas in which the other animals exceed and supersede us. For example, the elephants can hear voices which is not audible in human range. We have a limited range of vibrations that we can hear, but there are animals that have the audible range much better than us. For example, in the elephants, the predators, without letting the predator know about their activities, the elephants can communicate with each other in voices which the predators cannot hear. So, this is a natural kind of a protection in the form of this trait given by the nature to the elephants. With this, let us start the evolution of elephants. Elephants, they are much widespread on the earth's surface now, but the elephants as we see them today have not been like that in the geological past. So, the paleontological record, it offers a unique way in comprehending the evolution of elephants. I mean, how they appear from one form to the other. The elephants actually evolved from the reptile-like ancestors, something like 180 million years back from now. Actually, from the reptile-like ancestors, two main lineages were, splitted off. One is the mammalian lineage, and then the dinosaurian lineage. So, they evolved almost at the same time from some common ancestors. But 80 million years back, the elephant lineage, it splitted off from the primates. There was a kind of a merotherium like organism, like animal, from which the elephants were evolved. So, it happens to be the oldest ancestor of all elephants. Elephants, they come in they are all chordates. Chordates means vertebrates, vertebrates having the vertebral column, jointed backbone and head which is in the form of a cranium. You have a very well defined notochord which is present, you have the gill chambers, all the features that usually a vertebrate would exhibit. So, among the vertebrates, they belong to an order which is called as Proboscidea. So, all the elephants, they come into the order of Proboscidea. Actually, the elephant which is called as woolly mammoth, this was a different sort of an elephant. It was existing at the time of the Ice Age. So, the woolly mammoth differs from today's elephant in the sense that it bears long hair or wool-like feature on its skin, outer skin surface. So, that was a kind of an adaptation to the cooler environment. That was a kind of an adaptation to the Ice Age dominated climate. So, then the wool was required. But as the climatic cooling led to the climatic warming, rather the global warming when it started, then there was no need for this fur. So, the form of elephants from the woolly mammoth, it evolved, in which the hair was shredded off, the skin became thicker and the body became adapted to a warmer climate. What was the kind of an adaptation to the warmer climate, as you can suppose? You may think that the elephants, they have the big ear. Big ear means they can fan air, and that will help to some sort to regulate the body temperature. Other than that, they have a thick skin. So, thick skin maintains the internal body temperature and prevents this from being overheated because of the hot weather outside. Then the wool was lost, the hair becomes short. So, these are the sets of adaptive features which was found in the elephants, which was evolved after the woolly mammoths. So, this was one category of evolution. As far as the Asian elephants are concerned, so Asian elephants are quite bigger in size, and they have different in morphological feature than the African elephants. In African elephants, both male and female, they bear tusk, but this is not the case with the Asian elephants. And as far as the modern counterparts of these elephants or the common ancestors of these elephants are concerned, so you have mantis, dugongs and hyraxes. So, mantis, dugongs and hyraxes, these are the animals which are closest relatives of the elephants as far as the evolution or evolutionary series is concerned. However, the environments or the climates or the habitats of the mantis, dugongs and hyraxes today and that of the habitat of the elephant is far different. So, they are separated in terms of the habitat and also they are separated in terms of the body shape and size. That means, the body form is different and habitat is also different. This is about the general overview of the proboscids. Proboscids, Proboscida, order Proboscida, then it includes the family Elephantidae. So, all the elephants, they belong to this family Elephantidae. As far as the ancestors of the elephants are concerned, to which this theme is all about, what you call as the proboscids, from which the proboscid like ancestors from which the elephants evolved, they were the size of a pig. So, elephant at that time had a very small size. Coming to the different divisions in which the elephants can be categorized, the first of that is the Trilophodon. Trilophodon is basically a very short elephant like organism, and modern elephants, they have 2 tusks. Trilophodon had 4 tusks. So, 4 tusks means the 2 tusks were present on the upper jaw and 2 of the tusks were present in the lower jaw. The tusks of the upper jaw, it was something like it was outward and upward. So, it was a curved feature that was present on the outer jaw, and then the 2 tusks were present on the inner jaw. That means, these 2 inner jaw tusks, they were curved, but they were curved inwards. So, you had a very small, much smaller than today's elephant, that was the size of the Trilophodon and having the 4 tusks. And the trunk was smaller, rest of the features were very subdued compared to the modern elephants. Then comes the Dinotherium. Dinotherium is a separate form. As the Trilophodon, it existed 26 million years from now. The Dinotheriums, they were existent 25 million years. That means, the Dinotheriums were relatively younger than the Trilophodons. Dinotheriums are characterized by only 2 tusks, and these 2 tusks were present on the lower jaw and they were curved, and they were curved in a shovel like fashion. That means, these were the animals which used to lift vegetation from the muddy areas. So, the shovel shaped tusks, it used or it helped them in that kind of habitat as far as its feeding strategies are concerned. So, that was Dinotherium. At the same time, you had in the 25 million years regime, you had the there was another form which was Mastodon. Mastodon was a kind of an elephant like feature, but there was some difference with the present elephants. So, you had the the lineage from the Trilophodon to Dinotherium and then to the Mastodons. As far as their evolution and adaptive radiation is concerned, you may be surprised to know that except Australia and Antarctica, these proboscids were present on every continent. So, they had a very widespread in the earth's surface, widespread distribution in the earth's surface. But they were all died out, and presently there are only 2 continents in which you can find their remnants, and these two continents are Asia and Africa. In all the other continents, the proboscids have died away. You get their fossils, but later on they were, they became extinct. And as far as the modern elephant is concerned, which is called as Elephas, Elephas is little, older in evolution than the African elephants, and it is bigger in size, and it has two tusks, big, big ears. Actually, the elephants are by nature, they are very quick in adaptation. They very easily adopt any new climate, and this was the reason why they were widespread on the earth's surface. But the fact is that in nature, every organism has to prevent itself from the predators. You have the food chain, the food web. Each particular entity feeds on something, and it is the food for the other entity. So, in this kind of a chain or web-like situation that is naturally existent, it was very challenging for the big, large size of the elephants to evolve strategies in which it can have the feeding strategy comfortable for its body form, and that should be keeping in mind its security point of view as well. So, that way the nose, that is, it becomes very long, as you have seen in the elephants. The trunk, they was bigger in size. So, trunk is kind of an horizontal, and then you have thick 4 legs actually. So, that means this entire body form which the elephants have got, it has to be understood in terms of the fact that while drinking water or while eating food, the animal do not have to bend, because as you would have seen that if an animal bends in drinking water or eating food, that was the time when the predator attacks. So, elephants can become active, they become sensitive to the predators while eating and feeding. So, every organism, as I told you, is a kind of an compromise between its body form and the climatic constraints that exist at that place. So, elephants, they are very much widespread in the grasslands. They are widespread into the thick forests also. And as far as the Indian counterparts are concerned, so Elephas indicus. So, Elephas indicus is the one that is present in India, that is found indigenous in India. Elephas sumatranus is found in Sumatra. Elephas is found in Sri Lanka, and all these elephants are much older. The youngest of the elephants to evolve is the African elephants, which are little smaller in size compared to the modern elephant. Their ancestry goes as back as 1.8 million years. So, compared to the 26 million years evolutionary history of the elephants, the African elephants happens to be very recently added to that system. And when you talk about the African elephants, they are categorized under the genus Loxodonta. So, Loxodonta africana is basically the chief form that is indigenous to the African areas. As I told you that both the male and females, they have the tusks. The tusks, they are used to pick up the food. Then they are inside, the teeth are which is present inside, the molars, premolars, canines, they have different shapes and sizes into different elephants and their fossil counterparts. So, the feeding strategy is basically something which governs the form of teeth into the elephants. As far as the evolutionary pattern of the elephants is concerned, the elephants, they not show convergent evolution, rather they show the divergent evolution. Divergent evolution means they evolved principally in Africa or Asia, and then from that it diverges to other countries like China and other Southeast Asian countries or northern part of the Asia. So, this was the kind of a distribution that we see about the elephants. Then comes the size in which the elephants occurred on the earth's surface. Presently, they occupy some very less areas. Like if you see the African elephants, for example, earlier they were present in the entire African continent, but now if you see the African elephants are mostly confined to the southern Africa, South Africa. South Africa is a country, but I am talking about the southern part of the African continent. So, do not confuse this with the southern part of the African continent and South Africa. They are two very different notions, which is to be very much clarified here. So, in southern part of the African continent, they are mostly concentrated. The reason is the hunting by the humans for their tusks. Their tusk is something which is very considered to be very precious. So, this is the tusk for which the elephants are being hunted, and that seriously and considerably significantly shrinks the habitat presently. Earlier, as far as I told you that they have a very large size, but a very quick adaptivity. So, these are the two conflicting things. Actually, quick adaptability is something which enables a particular animal to proliferate on the earth's surface. So, if you will be quickly adaptive, you can go almost anywhere you like, but if you are not adaptive, your ecological habitat would be very much confined. So, as far as their adaptability is concerned, so they have a very quick and very significant adaptivity, but that is a kind of a question and conflicting as well. Conflicting in the sense that an animal which can adapt quickly can go to a different place, but at that point we are not meant to stay in a very wide range of temperatures. If the temperature goes below 10 degrees, it will be difficult for us to survive. If the temperature goes beyond 40 degrees, that is also something which we cannot resist, which we cannot tolerate actually. The same goes true with the other animals also. That means, if an animal is versatile enough to proliferate on the earth's surface, to which the body is not adapted, then that will form a threat, that will be a climatic threat on its extinction. So, the proliferation would be horizontally very long, but as far as the time span is concerned, so they will be very soon become extinct. So, this is one reason why they are only found these days in Africa and Asia. And the second reason is that the big size, the large size of these elephants, it also stops them from proliferating to the other parts. As far as their vertebrate form is concerned, in Indian horizons, mostly shivalik rocks is the rock in which the vertebrate fauna is found. So, this is something which is to be studied in Indian horizon in the shivaliks. In the shivaliks, we get the Stegodon ganesha, which is very much equivalent to the modern elephant. Then we get the fossils of the elephas also. We get even Paratetralophodon, we get the Dinotheriums. Dinotheriums are found in lower and middle shivaliks as well. The detailed division of the shivaliks and the vertebrate fauna can be found into the shivalik vertebrate fauna, that is a separate lecture in the series. So, much of this information we can find, but what is more important is the institutional part, or the intuitions in which we are using such terms in this lecture as well, that there are very few horizons in India which offer the study of the evolution of the elephants. I tried my best that you could understand the evolution of the elephants, and that the elephants, they are not found in the sizes as they are seen these days. They were much smaller, of the size of a pig. So, they are very much bigger. Sometimes they also had wool on the surface as the woolly mammoth. So, climate has also became a factor of their distribution and their body form. And we will be discussing other significant topics in paleontology in the lectures to come. Till then, thank you very much.